Today, my wife and I are visiting Colonial Williamsburg, an amazing living history museum in Virginia that tells the early part of America's enduring story. Come along with me and my wife as we explore a history buff's paradise. That's coming up next.
Most of the woodwork is original except for the shutters of the stairs. The risers for the stairs, the banister, all of the wood flooring that you see, and the interior wooden shutters that you'll see inside the house are all original and have been well maintained. Now George Wythe, when he moved into this house, he didn't own it. He married the builder's daughter. His name is Richard Tulliver, and the builder's name is Elizabeth Tulliver. When they moved into the house, they were given lifetime rights, and any children they had, the house would pass to them. But in the contract, if the event happens that they don't have children, then the house reverts back to the Tulliver family. And guess what? They didn't have children. So they were living in this house for almost 35 years. During that time, they took in a great deal of student quarters. And one of the people who was a student here but didn't live here was Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson was 17 when he hired George Wythe to teach him how to read law in this house and stayed at the nearby Market Square Tavern. He would commute over here, and by the time he was 20 or 21, had the knowledge and skills necessary to be able to pass the bar. So when he passes the bar, we get the excitement that we've been looking for so long. Because this means that Thomas Jefferson's going to get to practice law right here in the capital city. And so Mr. Wythe is very proud of him because, like Mr. Wythe, he was a lifelong learner and someone who loved the Great Enlightenment. So in the year of 1774, both Jefferson and Wythe become signers of the Declaration of Independence, and then members of the Continental Congress. They signed the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and in 1779, Thomas Jefferson's going to move into the governor's palace, speak to the College of William and Mary about starting a law school, and ask that George Wythe be the one to be able to head that up. So he's going to professionalize our first American law program here at an American college. And in 1780, that is when the capital city moves to Richmond, and in 1781, that is the time that we finally get the moving in of General Washington. He wants to use this house to plan war strategies for the siege of Yorktown. So he's with us for about 11 days in 1781. That's a successful battle in which Cornwallis is going to surrender. So 1787, after a very long, lingering, unknown illness, Mrs. Wythe passes away. George Wythe decides he's going to slowly start to move towards retirement, teaches a few of the teachers who will replace him at William and Mary, and then in 1789, he's going to return this house to the Tulliver family, even though he didn't have to. He's going to fully be living in Richmond and working as the judge of the Chancery Courts by 1791. And he has also hired a young Jewish rabbi by the name of Benjamin Isaac Satius to teach him Hebrew. He wants to read the Old Testament in Hebrew. This is a goal of his. He already knew 5 languages, we believe, by this time. 2 types of French, Norman French, Greek and Latin, for being able to teach people how to read law in English. 1789, 1791, that's where he's really trying to figure out what does he want to do. And when he does get to have the opportunity to become a judge, it's really exciting for him because he's going to mentor John Marshall and Henry Clay in the judicial system while he's there. And this was exciting because they were students of his at William and Mary. So everything just kind of sort of goes full circle after that.
Hello guys, over here. So over here is the parlor area for the George Wythe house. That's their area for socializing, talking about all sorts of things like carving, tea, when are they next going to do violent revolution against King George III, things like that. Good stuff. Of course. but that isn't the way we think that it would have been set up. That's our best guess. Now on the other side is the dining room, set up for the Society for the Promotion of Useful Knowledge. Essentially, that's something from the 1760s, well before the Revolution. George Wythe would have been here with a teenage Thomas Jefferson, a Dr. Small of William and Mary, professor of mathematics, as well as the then governor of Virginia, our lieutenant governor, Fauquier. He would have been there in the 1760s. And so it's them kind of at the height of British relations in Virginia. And so they're talking about all sorts of fun scientific things, and also kind of being geeks with each other. So feel free to explore that area, and when you're done, you can head back.
How are you this morning?
Doing well, and you?
Oh, well enough. Coming back here, this would have primarily been Elizabeth Wythe's office space. It's customary in a Virginia gentry family like this for the mistress of the house to be the one actually managing the place. So Mrs. Wythe would be back here balancing the family account books, ordering supplies, supervising the 15 enslaved people that worked the property. And that's partly why, if you'll notice, her office overlooks the service yard in the back. We also believe this doubled as the Wythe summer bedchamber, where in the summertime gets pretty beastly hot and humid here. They never had children of their own. They could be more flexible with the space. We suspect they came down here just get just a little bit cooler. And of course, with the high ceilings, the front and the back door in a direct line, you open them up, get some natural circulation, probably helped a little bit. Sure. But if you like, you can step back across the passage here, have a look at George Wythe's law office. Very likely the space where he taught Thomas Jefferson and numerous others the law before William and Mary opened up their law school in 1779. And as you can see from the dining room, he's not just teaching his students law, rather he's teaching them a bit of science. He thought science and the law went together, that you couldn't be an effective lawyer without at least a basic understanding of the laws of nature. So Jefferson, John Marshall, Henry Clay, they're getting scientific and legal training back here. So reading Blackstone's commentaries on British common law, examining plant and animal specimens, looking for slides in the microscope, all sorts of things back here.
Well, that's a wrap for this Colonial Williamsburg video. I hope you really enjoyed it, getting to see another part of this amazing living history museum. If you like this sort of stuff, check out my other videos. Check out colonialwilliamsburg.org to plan your own visit here, because it's so much cooler in real life than it is on film. Till next time, this is History Buff, TN Photobug signing out, and I'm having a blast with the past.